Greetings and salutations. This is Featherhoof.
And this is CarnagePanda.
And this is Anime Talk for summer 2019.
The first episode of the new season.
First new episodes of the new... Yeah, what he said.
Yes! I win!
First time for everything.
Yes, hey, it feels good. Sometimes, statistics, the way they work, it was bound to happen eventually.
Ah, yeah.
But, I gotta say, it's, we complained last season. We were like, man, it just wasn't enough to really pique our interest, that we sort of have to just, keep going with what we, some of the series we started last season.
And that was because of the metric fuck ton of shorts they threw out last season. Like, everything was a short.
This season, however...
They threw us some prime meat.
Yes, they did, and a lot of it. And it's hard to choose. It really is. So we sort of are... We're going to start this episode, and probably the next episode, and maybe even the third episode, dabbing into a little bit of everything, trying to find the 5 we're going to just continue with, for the full season. Today, however, we actually have 6 for you. We have 6 that piqued our interest. We'll see how it goes, whether we're really dedicated to them as we go, but I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't think everything was great that we saw, but this is a group effort here between myself, Panda, and you guys, so we'll figure out what we're watching, but let's go ahead and just talk about them first. What do you think?
I approve of this this measure.
Okay, measure enacted.
Okay, and we're not going to be doing this in any rank order or anything, because these are the first episodes of the week, and things might actually be cut, because there's still more episodes that are airing this week that we haven't got to because they haven't aired.
Yes.
The first one we've got for you guys is Astra Lost in Space, and...
Or as I dubbed it when we first saw the trailer, Star Trek Voyager with kids.
This was certainly the longest, because this was a double feature. It was like 2 episodes at 50 minutes long. And...
This happened to us before, and I always said, if they're going to do a double feature, they better be worth our time. I think this was definitely worth our time.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards this might be in the keep column. Because...
assuming not every episode is 47 minutes long?
Assuming
yes.
I don't know, Sometimes they do the 1 hour special and then go to the 22 minute and...
Well, that's how they usually do things.
I don't know how this is going to go, but... Yeah, we don't get very many adventure shows.
No, not really. It's actually something different, and I like it.
Me too.
I mean, because, I'll be honest, growing up, I used to watch a lot of Nick at Night. Don't ask me why, I was just fascinated with all that stuff. I loved the old...
It was the 90s, and we had nothing else to watch.
and I loved the old shows. They show, like, Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie.
I watched all that stuff, too.
Yeah, and on there was Lost in Space, and I dug that show.
I think I went to bed before Lost in Space came on.
Oh, I was into it. I waited for that. That was one of the shows I waited for. And then later, as time went on, we got Star Trek Voyager. Star Trek in general. Star Trek Next Generation which was my first Star Trek. I loved Voyager. Deep Space Nine was okay.
You know why Star Trek: The Next Generation was your first Star Trek, right?
Because I was born around that time.
And the first one came out like 30 years before we were born?
I know, but I still could have seen it in syndication, but I didn't. I couldn't, but I just didn't.
Too lazy.
Well, I didn't know it existed at the time. I was a kid.
That's true.
My mother started watching Star Trek Next Generation, and that's why I got into that.
Yeah, you could have gotten involved in other shows like Seinfeld. I know you love that one.
That's a joke, right?
Yeah, it says, yeah.
Because I was not into that. No. So, Astra Lost in Space. Tell us what we're in for. What is this anime?
This is about a bunch of people getting together, getting fucked, and then trying to get unfucked. That's my
sounds sexy.
Yeah, it does.
All right.
Shabba-da-da-doo.
Shabba-da-doo. Callback. Woo! So, we have 9 students going to McPlanet.
Yes. This is either a Scottish planet or a McDonald's planet. We don't know yet because...
Well, the year is 2063. I'm pretty sure McDonald's is still around and they are such a conglomerate that they're able to buy planets.
Yeah. Well, like
Mom!
I said, though...
Mom, if we go to the grocery store with you, can we stop by McPlanet for a Happy Meal? No, son, that's 9 light years away.
Well, if you go to the grocery store, you could buy actual ground beef instead of ground beef with industrial waste in it.
But that industrial waste makes things taste oh so terrible.
That's true, that's true.
I mean, we gotta have terrible fake meat in our face. It has to happen. But we have 9 students who are on a field trip where I don't get this field trip.
9 students and a hand puppet.
And a hand... Gibo. I love Gibo.
Bigo,
sorry.
Bigo.
I don't understand. Like, I have a feeling I know where this is going. Like, I think it's some kind of, like, sort of setup thing. Like, this is supposed to happen. Even they even postulate that in the show themselves.
I'm not so sure about that because
also the trip is to drop off 9 unsupervised children on a planet for 5 days, and then we'll come back for you.
I've been unsupervised.
What?
Yeah.
You were dropped off with 8 other children unsupervised?
They're all high school students. They're like 17 or 18. There's
Still?
just one kid and a hand puppet. I don't know the age of the hand puppet. It might be underage.
No,
it requires supervision, but...
No, they remarked constantly, or several times, about how it has an elderly voice. So it must be. It must be. That's the adult supervision.
Adult. They have an adult. So if they ever, run into Vegeta or anything, they're going to be covered there.
Well, still, 9 students dropped off on a planet for 5 days, and their objective is to keep a little girl safe. That's their objective.
Yeah, but it could be a setup, a trap, or whatever. Some kind of scheme, like a
test or something.
Like they say, or that one girl says. I can't remember her name. I only remember the name of Bigo.
Well, I call her Quiche in my head because her name starts with a Q, and I don't know any other name that starts with Q.
Yes, the tan girl that's kind of bitchy.
Yeah. I call either Quiche or bitch because she's kind of bitchy.
Yeah, so they
and
do
she's a bitch to her sister.
She does postulate. Yeah, she is kind of mean to her sister.
Yeah,
they do postulate that, but then the leader guy, Kanata, comes back and says, "Well, I got fucked when I was a kid because my teacher fell off the mountainside and died horribly, and there were like 7 of us kids, and we had to survive for a week." And it was a miracle that they found us.
Yeah.
So it could go that direction too.
Possibly.
So they just got sucked into a fucking black hole and deposited in bumfuck nowhere, and now they have to get out of there.
But the thing is, the reason why I think that it's...
I know why you're going to say that is because it's too convenient.
Well, everything is too convenient. The 9, the 8 randomly selected children all seem to have specific skills and abilities as they were going around introducing themselves at the end. And it was just like,
one girl said she didn't have any skills.
Yeah, but that's because she's
what are the little girl's skills? And
she's the objective.
What's the hand puppet skills?
That we don't know yet.
He has a very specific
set of skills.
We're gonna see a kung fu battle between the hand puppet and some bad guy.
So let's go through our cast of children here. We have Kanata, the dude who has PTSD and some kind of knack for being a leader. We have the main character Arias, who is...
She's the main character. I think they're all main.
Well, the episode focused on her.
We have Aries. She's kind of ditzy and...
Yes, but she's like the moral support character.
Kind of reminds me of Toad from Fruits Basket.
A little bit, yeah. We have silver-haired guy with glasses who has like a super
200 IQ. So this is a 200 IQ anime.
Yep. We have the pretty boy. We have the emo goth. We have. And
we do have Sasuke.
And we have Sasuke. Yeah. He's trying to find Itachi out in space. And what else do we have? We have the bitchy girl. There's always the bitchy one. Got to have the bitchy girl.
There's some shy girl in glasses.
As I said, the emo goth.
I thought that was Sasuke.
No, that's just Sasuke. That's a type all its own.
Yeah, character archetype all its own. Okay, I get it.
Yep. It's just Sasuke type. good-looking, brooding, that doesn't say much and hates everybody. Sasuke.
So at some point he's gonna try to kill the other cast members.
Probably, yeah.
It's like this crew. I just don't know about them, brother.
I mean, he really wanted that backpack. There was something in that backpack he really wanted, but we never got to see. He's really relieved when Kanata got it for him.
Well, they did get the backpack, so maybe it'll be revealed.
Yes. So they're dropped off on a planet to fend for themselves for 5 days, and the goal at the end is that the little 10-year-old kid must still be alive, I guess. That's their objective. And while seconds go by after their drop-off ship leaves, and they're met with a black hole. Just a black hole just sitting there.
Any other way to describe it? It's a black hole, and
yeah, it's just like, hi, I'm a black hole. I'm Black Hole Chan. How you doing? Let's shake hands.
I don't know about that.
And there's the art student. Forgot about the art student. So
Oh yeah,
useless.
the art student whose gender is ambiguous. I'm
No,
not
it's
sure.
a girl.
It could be a guy.
That's a girl. It's a girl.
I have an argument against that.
Okay.
In the ending credits, they had to show all the girls, and they had to show them,
God damn it.
with their butt facing the screen, except
Yeah.
for the little itty bitty girl. And the art student was shown like all the other guys.
Okay. We'll see. So
I don't know about that.
the art student, proving her uselessness, goes, "Oh look, black hole! I'm gonna touch it."
Yeah, that's so cool. And then she gets sucked in.
Yeah, because she's like, "Come on, this may be a camping trip, but this is a famous planet. It's all theatrics. It's theatrics. Look at it. Let me go touch it."
And then Kanata's like, "Oh, fuck."
He's like, "Everyone, run! Everyone, run!" And they all run.
Get to the chopper!
But they can't get to the chopper.
There's no chopper. They can't get out.
Because the black hole
And then they
moves very fast.
They do the typical movie thing. Like, I remember when I was watching, what was that new Aliens movie? It started with a P.
Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus, when I was watching it with you. And at the end, the one bad guy gets crushed by the tower that falls or whatever.
Oh, the chick, yeah.
And they always do that thing where,
Let's
they could go to the side and get out of the way, but no, they have to run along the length, and then because they can't outrun it, they get crushed.
Illegal Mexicans crossing the border have more intelligence than these people. I mean, seriously, because they see, illegal immigrants trying to cross the border, scatter.
Yeah.
These children, everyone, straight line, that way! It's like,
oh, why would you do that? They all get sucked up because of it.
Yep.
They're brilliant plans, so even the 200 IQ kid, he couldn't figure this out.
No.
He's like, well, if I went this way, nope, gotta keep running.
So, they are, instead of being crushed into a singularity, they are warped and shot out into space. Just randomly. In front of a random ship.
Yeah, that would never happen.
No.
You get sucked up by a black hole.
You're getting crushed into a singularity. So, bye-bye.
You're not long for this world.
No. Although they do talk about time dilation or whatever as you reach the rim or the event horizon or whatever the fuck, but anyway.
That is beyond the scope of this video.
Yeah. So they all get on the ship, and through a series of both tense and hilarious scenes happen, and they come up with a plan to, it's like, to boil it all down, they basically like, okay, we're a crew now, Kanata, you're the leader, and we're going to form this plan where we're going to hop from planet to planet to collect supplies and get home. It'll take us about 3+ months because we got shot out 5,012 light years away.
5,012?
Yes. So, yeah, that's basically the synopsis. That's what we got in the first episode. I gotta say, I think, because like you said, this is more of an adventure style,
Yeah, like it's not going to be a battle shonen where,
No.
the point is, whose power level is higher?
Yeah, it's gonna be the character developments of these 9 children, how they interact with each other, and how they interact with whatever instance they have to come up against.
See, I kind of like, when I was younger, I used to like RPGs, but then as I got older, I had this kind of ephany.
Okay.
Where I was like, these games are focusing too much on their battle systems, and there's so much other stuff we could do with a role-playing game. It's
like
that
role-playing.
That quote from Bruce Lee in, I believe it's Enter the Dragon, where he's like training his student.
About the belt?
And and he's like, look at my finger. And the student looks at his finger, and then Bruce smacks him upside the head. And he's like, if you just focus on the end of the finger, you're going to miss all the glory of the heavens. So I kind of feel that way, I need more than just Battle Shonen in my diet.
Says the one who was desperate to find a Battle Shonen last season.
Don't bring that up.
Too late. Did it. I'm excited because it feels like Star Trek anime, and I love Star Trek. I love anime, and if these two things can be put together, to quote Bubsy, what could possibly go wrong?
A Bubsy game?
Yeah, that is true. Reviving a Bubsy game after all the years because it was bad then, and bad now. But I don't know. It's just To me, I think this has a lot of potential. I have hope for it.
It does have a lot of potential.
I want to see where it goes.
Me too.
I honestly do.
I do.
I think this is definitely, regardless of what happens, I think this one is probably going to stay.
It might stay.
So, with that, to let us know what you thought about Astra, Lost in Space, and we're going to go ahead and move right along to the next entry on our list. Next on our list is Dr. Stone. Of all the ones we talked about, we went through the list of, we're figuring out what we're going to watch this season. Dr. Stone seemed the most interesting to me. Just from the trailers, just from the image of that dude's hair, I was just like, you know what?
He's had that hair since he was a kid.
He has, apparently. According to the end credits of the show, yes, he's had that since he was a child.
I try to go in tabula rasa with everything because...
And do what?
Blank slate.
Okay.
With everything, because I don't want to, see something like, oh, that looks good, and then get horribly disappointed, like we did with Angels of Death.
And a couple of others, but...
Yeah. But I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. What we have here is a show where we have... What was his name? Suka? Or... What's the main character's name? Dr. Stone's name?
He has a name.
Yeah. Welcome to the first episode of every season of Anime Talk, where we don't know anyone's name.
This is our eternal struggle, because we just jam a bunch of episodes, and they were like, who was that guy again?
You guys will probably put it in the comments below.
We'll call him Soka for now.
Sunka or something like that, or I don't know, Dr. Stone. Screw it. He is a super genius and kind of an asshole.
He's a funny asshole.
He is. He hands his friend Big Oaf, we'll just call him.
Yeah, he goes a Big Oaf because he's a big oaf.
Yeah, he's like Batsu from Rival Schools. He looks a lot like Batsu from Rival Schools, actually. Whereas he's all muscle, no brains. He hands him a vial and says, "Hey, this is a love potion. It'll totally, make you irresistible to the opposite sex." Because Big Oaf is going to go, confess his feelings to a girl he's always loved.
He's going to go confess his feelings to his childhood love, and today is the day.
And he's like, "I don't need your cheap tricks," and pours it out. And after he runs off to go confess his love, one of the other science students goes, Wait, that was just pure gasoline. If he had drank that, wouldn't he have died? It's like, yeah, but I was 10 million% sure that he wasn't stupid enough to drink it. Which, 10 million% is a phrase we'll hear 5 million times.
I kind of recall when I was younger, that tender age of 10 or something.
Okay.
And I was watching sitcoms on the television, as we were apt to do, because there was nothing else to do in those days other than play video games that were really hard. And I seem to recall a sitcom. I don't remember which one it was.
Yep.
But they came in from some Christmas drinking or whatever, and they were like, "Yeah, we were drinking gasoline." And I was like, "The fuck?" I was sitting there as a kid. I'm like, "What the? Even I know that's dumb."
Yeah, and if he knows it, that means everyone should. But
low blow, man, low blow.
But as he goes out and he's going to confess his feelings to his childhood love, there's a bright... Well, first I love that all the science kids are taking bets on it. They're like, 500 yen says that she rejects him, and 700 yen says she rejects him hard. He's like, 1,000 yen says that he totally gets rejected and just destroyed. And Dr. Stone is all like, 1,000,000 yen says that he doesn't get rejected. I'm 10 billion% sure.
He's very sure of his. I feel like she looks like she's straight out of a hentai.
If I try to struggle off the top of my head, I've never watched anything that's straight up hentai, so I'll have to take your word on that. I've watched things that have borderlined into hentai territory, but I've never actually watched a straight hentai, so I don't know. I'll take your word on that.
But, I don't know how she's going to be written in this story, because I think it's a battle shonen, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know if it is, but...
Battle shonen tend to have this problem with women characters, is that they're not really characters. They're just there.
True. So he's going to confess his feelings, and then there's this bright green light. It's like, oh shit, what is that? And every human being and bird, only human beings and birds for some reason, get turned to stone.
The birds.
I don't know what. It's like it started with birds. Like they found birds that morning that were all like, everyone's like, oh, look at these bird statues all over the place. What is this? And the Big Oaf and the girl he likes both try to take them to veterinarians, but I guess they're not open before school hours for whatever reason. And so every human being and bird gets turned into stone. But it's like apparently, if they're not killed outright, they somehow retain their consciousness? I'm confused.
So, at the moment that they're all turned to stone, a bunch of people die horribly.
Oh, yes. I mean, they're showing, like, pilots of planes, and the whole plane's going down as it explodes. You see chunks of rock body parts flying everywhere.
Yeah. And time goes on, and...
I have to say, out of all the time montages I've seen in different shows and movies and whatnot, I really liked the way that they showed the passage of time in this one.
It's probably because the background art looked really good.
It was really pretty.
One of the... I don't think it would elevate it on the level of, what was that show? Iridoku? That show had to have had the best backgrounds I've ever seen.
Yes.
But the backgrounds of this show are still really good.
Yes. It shows that, I guess, Big Oaf is just too dumb to die, because he's, like, conscious throughout the entire thing.
He's not too dumb to die. He states that he's gonna stay alive even if it kills him.
Because he has to tell. Her name starts with a U, and that's all, or a Y, but that's all.
Yuri
Kuma Arashi. There we go.
Yuri Huza or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, Yuri Kuma.
He's like, and I guess for the next, was it turned out to be 3,700 years?
Yeah.
That he's just saying to himself over and over again, I gotta stay alive so that I can tell her that I love her. I've always loved her and stuff like that. Until one day, the rock covering falls off.
I couldn't imagine anybody sitting in a petrified state like that for 3,700 years and not going completely insane.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was thinking myself. It's like, how would they not be, even if they're alive in their rock states, mentally alive, like, conscious, how are they not all horribly insane?
Yeah. It kind of feels like the opening to some kind of Lovecraft novel.
Yeah.
Because obviously this guy doesn't go insane because he has such a boner for this chick that he's got to get out of this stone.
Well, I think some people do lose themselves in the stone, because
probably
when Dr. Stone said he knew the date because he counted.
This is the one part of the episode that I do not buy at all.
That Dr. Stone is
nobody's gonna count the seconds for 3,700 years.
It's like,
to figure out what the date is.
I love that, because he's like, when it showed like a little bit of his his flashback, he's like, oh shit, I almost lost consciousness there. It happens about every 800,000 seconds.
Like, you could, this guy's a genius. He knows mathematics. He could figure it out.
Yeah, but
counting seconds. Yeah. What?
So, as far as I know, the only ones who are not in stone anymore are Dr. Stone and Big Oaf. And they start building a life there as Dr. Stone tries to his mission. Yeah, his mission.
His scheme.
Mission.
Scheme.
Okay, scheme.
He's a schemer.
Mission.
Just look at those fucking shit-eating grins. He's scheming.
And the hair.
Yes, and the hair.
He looks straight. He looks straight up, almost like Legion from the X-Men series.
Now I swear I had the same hair as this dude when I was in high school.
He likes to think he did.
In the 11th grade, I just did not care about my hair. I just went to bed and woke up, and my hair stood straight on end. And I was like, this is the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, but it didn't stick 4 feet straight up in the air.
I did not have 4 feet of hair, but I just let it stick straight up. And they're like, man, this one guy's like, man, that makes you look like Einstein. Even though it didn't fluff out to the side. I was just like, yeah, straight up. I love that.
So it's actually a pretty interesting anime. It's fun watching. It did a lot of montages and time passages showing their continued existence in this world where only they exist, and how they get along in life, what they do, what they have to do, and his continued experiments to try and find a way to break the stone onto peoples.
Yeah, so he schemes his way through this
by, what was it? Like some kind of like. Something's created from bat guano that drips from the cave ceiling.
Nitric acid or something.
Something like that. But like, at first that doesn't really work, but maybe if we mixed it with alcohol.
If we had alcohol, we could make this other shit, which is a etching agent.
Yeah.
And we'd be good.
But, and he's like, Big Olf's like, alcohol, I got these grapes. These grapes, like, we can make wine. And it's like, oh, that's it. And I love how they're like, man, if it was back before the incident, we'd be going to jail for this shit.
Yeah, if we were doing this without a license, it's like, I don't know if those laws are still in effect. Your society has crumbled; it's gone.
I love it because after they do make the wine, after their kiln thing or whatever it was, like the distillery clay pot, whatever, like cracks and breaks, and they have to make a new one.
They didn't make it too well.
But like after they finally make wine properly, like Big Oaf goes like, isn't this technically drinking without, drinking underage? Underage drinking?
He's like, you fool! We've been around for 3,700 years.
Oh, that's right! Yes! Glug, glug, glug! Oh, Jesus Christ!
Now, this does remind me of something, and that something is Chrono Trigger.
Oh, Chrono Trigger.
I kind of feel like this is the past in 65 million BC.
Okay.
The whole... the way the backgrounds are and stuff, and the way he's like stomping into the grapes and stuff, it just kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah, I can see that. That's even something Dr. Stone mentions. He mentions like how humanity's had gone like so many like a million years through our civilizations and thousands of years or whatever that we've developed through the Stone Age to the Bronze Age and so on and so forth. I'm gonna have to rebuild it all from scratch.
Developing is a bold claim because I've lost my faith in humanity.
About time. Welcome to the Cynical Club. Good for you to get. It's about time you got here.
I've been there for a long, long time.
So, a lot of experiments don't work at first because they tried it on the birds that they found. And while they're going, one of those both sad and sort of heartbreaking scenes where they'll walk through and they'll see a bunch of stone human bodies are just been destroyed by the elements, and
yeah, some of them are in pieces. I don't know if they can recover them from that.
I think those ones are dead.
But my gut tells me these guys are they just died horribly.
Yeah. Oh, could you imagine not even being able to see what's happening to you, and you're just being destroyed?
Like the one dude in
if they still had
got
consciousness,
decapitated.
Yeah.
And he's just got a stone head there.
And that makes you wonder even further. Is he still alive inside that stone head? And if he is conscious, he's just a head?
And does he know he's just a head?
Exactly. And if they get him out of the stone, he'll know for about 3 seconds.
I wanted to touch on that because they might in future episodes. I'm not going to go and read the manga right now because I don't want to spoil myself. They might in future episodes, some of these guys are going to come out and be fine, but some of the other guys, they might be just completely fucking insane.
Exactly. That's what I was wondering, because Dr. Stone, he's all about like, I want to save all of humanity. I'm going to release them all. Do you wanna? There were some raging assholes back in the day. You don't know who these people are you're releasing.
I'm just meaning like completely insane. They've lost their mind. The
but
words
what about
that come out of their mouth are just complete gibberish.
But what I'm saying is like, what about the people who were already like criminals and psychopaths and insane people, bad people?
I'm pretty sure he's gonna release a bad person like that because
the
big oaf dude.
Yeah, he did. They did show that one guy.
He's like, oh, I know that dude. His name is Shishio. And as I've learned from Roroni Kitchen,
it wasn't Shishio.
Yes, it is.
Was it?
Shishio.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have missed that sometime.
He's the bandaged guy.
Yeah, I know.
That's Shishio.
I know who Shishio is. I watched Roroni Kitchen like 20 times. I loved that show.
No, you didn't, because you don't know who Shishio is.
I did. I just don't remember the dude in this show being called Shishio.
His name is Shishio.
In Dr. Stone?
Yes.
Oh.
He's like, I know that guy. He's like the ultimate primate or whatever.
Yeah, that was a weird title. I saw the title.
And his name's Shishio, and I'm like, bad guy.
Yeah,
bad
guy. So yeah, by the end, they actually can create a concoction. It releases a bird, and they're like, yes, we found the proper concoction!
So the first thing they're going to do is go release the love of this guy's life so he can confess to her.
We assume, because
I'm just going to assume episode 2. That's exactly what they're going to do.
So yeah, it was...
And he's going to release Shishio. They're like, probably. Oh, this was a terrible mistake.
Well, I don't know, like, during the ending credits, they showed a bunch of people, like a large cast of characters. And not all of them seemed like happy, nice people. So...
Welcome to the human race.
Yeah, there is that. So that was Dr. Stone this week. Definitely, I had the highest expectations for this week. And I don't think it let me down, to be perfectly honest. I'm
keep watching
fully invested in Dr. Stone. I think Dr. Stone, like we said with Astra, is probably going to stay. Dr. Stone is definitely going to stay. I think that can speak for both of us on that one.
Yeah, I want to see where this goes.
As do I. So, let us know what you thought of Dr. Stone, and in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and move right along.
The third show that we watched is Fire Force, and it is a tried and true battle shonen.
Yes, it is. Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, because, I mean...
I don't know where you're coming from this.
I don't know, because they didn't really do much fighting.
It was the first episode.
Yeah, but, like, the fights that they had, can you even call them fights?
I can call them curb stomps.
They were definitely that. There was no contest in any of them. The two bad guys they fought today were just, it's like, hey, we're here. Oh shit, we're dead.
It was the first episode.
Yeah, I know.
We're not gonna meet the Akatsuki or the what the fuck do they call them in Bleach?
Oh, the
Espadas.
The Espada. Thank you.
I don't the
hollows.
Yeah, the fucking hollows. Well, we do have hollow.
The Marines in One Piece. The Marines. The Marines are the bad guys.
What?
Yes, because all the good guys are pirates. So the antagonists are the Marines. It says really big on their hats in One Piece, Marine. So.
Okay, so yeah, we're not going to get the Akatsuki or the Espada in the first episode,
or the Marines,
or the Marines.
We did get the fire department though, because what? Allow me to ask you, if you had people spontaneously combusting into demons, what two organizations would you merge together?
Is this a trick question?
No, because the show definitely did it. They merged the church with firefighters.
Oh, right. Yeah, so we have holy firefighters.
Holy firefighters!
I don't know if they're going to have the holy laser, though.
No.
Yeah, so they do have shit, they have a fucking chapel for a...
Their firehouse is a chapel.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, not chapel. It's a full-blown church.
So the strengths of the show, definitely the animation.
Oh, hands down, yes.
The best animation I saw so far this season. Yeah.
As far as movement is concerned, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it had a lot of that. It had a lot like a Demon Slayer, with like a lot of the sweeping motions. It was actually very
this
pretty.
season.
Oh well, yeah. I'm saying, but I'm comparing. It's like
Slayer.
Oh come on, Demon Slayer's animation was great.
Yes, but there's other parts of it that are not so great.
You mean when we have to watch those same scenes all over again, even though we just saw them 20 seconds ago?
Yes,
Yeah.
Very disappointing.
But I don't know. Fire Force. Well, let's talk about the episode before we really dive into our verdicts and what we felt about it. What happened this episode?
Actually, not much happened.
We're introduced to our main character,
We got our
Shinra.
main character at the beginning, and
I'll only remember his name because I played way too much Final Fantasy VII in my
some
youth.
dude on a train bursts into fire, so the train comes into the train station, detaches the car, and it's like, see ya!
Your problem now! Bye!
So Shinra's like, it's time to get some action. And then the Fire Force shows up, and they're like, stand back, we're the professionals, we got this. And he's like, but, and the lieutenant, you can tell it's the lieutenant because he has glasses on.
Yep.
He's like, hey, aren't you? And then his captain's like, okay, we gotta get this doing. We gotta get this done and do it now. And he's like, okay, get the fuck out of here.
He literally, like, out of the way.
So yeah, this is Shinra's first day on the job. He was supposed to join them.
Yes.
And the train station that he was at got attacked by an infernal.
Yes.
Which are the names of the Hollows.
When a person spontaneously combusts, their soul gets encapsulated inside, in the middle, and they become a creature called an infernal, which is like a humanoid, like made of like black charcoal ash looking things that's like surrounded by fire. And this,
I thought it was cool.
they're cool looking. You know, they're pretty cool looking. But yeah, they have like these interesting. Like, the way they fight was kind of interesting. It was kind of fun. The fight was neat. Like the captain has like this like pile bunker like arm weapon.
This just cracks me up that he's like, I'm gonna go in and fight a fire with a fucking pile bunker.
Boom. Well, the only thing they have to fight is the core, which is a solid thing.
Yeah, I know they have to vanquish the core, and that'll get rid of the infernal. But
yeah,
just the thought of, this thing is just fucking. There's an inferno towering in the heaven.
Yep.
I got my pile bunker ready.
And we got a chick who's like a cross between a firefighter and a witch. Like her outfit is like, from neck down, it's like a firefighter's, get up. But then she has this big old witch hat.
Yeah, she has a witch hat instead of a helmet.
Yeah, that is also.
I do remember most of their names.
Oh, do you? Oh, please.
No, I remember her name. It's Maki.
Okay.
And then the priestess is Sister.
Yeah, they just called her Sister so far. Actually, she had a name because there was one time where they showed every character, like screenshots show their power and their rank. And
yeah, they do actually.
And it was, she had a name. It's the first episode. We don't know.
Sister.
It was not Sister.
Yes.
Which was a terrible show.
Yes, it was. I'm going with that.
That was a terrible show, Sister. Fight me.
I'll fight you anyway.
Okay. So after they defeat it, and they're like, or rather, they fight it and they defeat it, and while they're standing around patting themselves on the back.
Like, yeah, we're awesome, man.
Yeah, hey, woo! We kicked his ass! Yeah! Like this, I guess some kind of thing was on fire and broke loose from above the nun, the firefighter nun.
And since Shinra has the Sharingan, he spotted this. And he's like, oh no, she's in danger, and I gotta use my special power.
Which his power is to create fire out of his feet to use as think of like the god Mercury, how he has the little wings on his feet to make him like move super fast and fly and shit. That's what his feet do, only with fire.
And they call it the Devil's Footprints.
Yes.
So basically, he gets fire out of his feet, and he's able to run Sonic speed.
And fly.
Yes.
And he saves her, and they're like, oh dude, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, by the way, yeah, I was supposed to join you guys. My name's Shinra. How's it going?
They're like, yeah, okay. Come with us to the chapel. The Fire Chapel.
Fire Chapel number 8, or whatever it was. Yeah. So he's introduced to the team, There's an unnecessary scene where the girls are showering, so we get to see them buck naked and see some side boob action. And
nothing wrong with that, man.
If you say so.
They're fucking ripped, though.
They are, yeah. Maki was ripped as shit.
Like, holy shit. They was... well, they do show the captain doing some exercises and stuff, so maybe what they do is they just spend all of their time training their bodies.
Yeah. Although I do love when the interaction between Maki and the sister, where Maki's all like, when that boy, Shinra, when he saved you, he like, swooped you up like a princess, how did that feel?
His sister's like, man, usually you are so cool, but today, what the fuck?
Like, I love it because he's like, you're usually all cool and collected and everything, but the problem is, inside your head where a brain should be is actually just a field of flowers and posies or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And it was depicted by a hummingbird impaling her in the brain.
Yeah, just this hummingbird just comes over, latches onto her skull, just right into her skull to drink the nectar, and
it was a weird imagery, but I loved it.
It's like, whoa.
So we get a little bit about Shinra's backstory. It's the typical Naruto, you know, like...
Yeah,
he's
the outcast of society.
Everyone hates him because they believe he killed his mother.
He his family.
Yes. His mommy and his baby brother.
And the countryside.
Or at least the house on it. Burninating the countryside, burninating the peasants, burninating all the people. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah, so his mom died, but not before passing down through genetics her shark teeth to her son.
Yeah, I love it. She was a cool mom. She's like the cool mom. I liked her. She's like, Mom, I'm going to be a superhero. And she's like, oh, that's so cool. Oh, wait, but you need the right attire for that. And gives him like a little cape and stuff. It's like, oh, this is adorable. I love it.
Yeah, so they're commenting on his smile during the entire episode that it's so weird and everything.
Because like,
and then as soon as you see his mother, you're like, oh, yeah, he genetics.
Because in all the promo videos and footage, you always see him with that shark tooth demon grin, which apparently, according to him, is like, it's like an, what would you call it? Like a Pavlovian response to feeling nervous.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, like that one kid. Speaking of Kenshin, we were talking about Kenshin a little while. That one kid that Kenshin fought, who threw him off his game because he couldn't read his emotions because he was always just smiling. It doesn't. My name's not important. Whatever.
Sojiro.
But yeah, it's sort of like that. Only
go watch Kenshin.
But instead of problematic sentence right now. But you know, people
problematic
because people don't want to be associated with that show right now because of the whole allegations against its creator.
Whatever.
I know. But
still a good show.
People can't separate people from the art, but that's on them.
Still a good show.
It is. But yeah, he sort of. Just whenever he gets uncomfortable, I love it because the captain detests this. Like, just totally breaks the comfort zone, like, gets in his fucking face.
Yeah, he's like, I want to see that.
It's
like the whole poking the bear moment.
Yes. And so he can't help it, and Shinra just gets the big demon grin, and he's like, that's so adorable!
That's so great!
He calls it adorable, I love it. So they get their first call though. After this little meet and greet, where the Lieutenant, the sister, 6 of that? No.
Yeah, they do get their first call. The alarm goes off.
Yeah, that's after they all have this little meet and greet. Their alarm goes off. And actually, during that flashback though, like was I the only one who wanted to like just slap Shinra's grandma? Shit.
We've seen this 100 billion times before in anime. It's just the typical thing. That's my only complaint, and what you complain too.
Yeah.
Is that this show doesn't deviate from the formula at all.
No, this show is formulaic. It's like, okay, going down the checklist. They are checking that. Yep. Multicultural squad. Yep. The shunned protagonist. Yep. Yeah, we're just
now the only thing they might not check off is because Maki seems like an action girl.
Oh, she does.
That she might actually be useful to the squad.
Yes, and we also saw in the end credits, we also saw another chick that has she has like 2 cattails made of fire. Yeah, and she looked pretty cool too.
I don't know, it's like a blonde dude or something.
Oh, then there's another blonde. Yeah, so there's 2 other characters.
There's a character they didn't even introduce in this episode.
2 characters.
2 characters.
Yeah.
I missed that one then.
Yeah,
I missed one of them.
The blonde dude.
No, I caught that guy.
Yeah, then there's the little girl that has like the cat, like the two fiery cat tails.
Spoilers! We're getting more characters.
Yeah. So they get their first call, and when they get there, there's like some warehouse or something like that, or factory.
The factory foreman's wife
Burninated. In fact, if we decide to keep this show, be prepared to hear Burninate a lot.
Yeah, the countryside will get burninated.
Because Trogdor will never be forgotten. I don't care if the dudes who made Strong Bad have not made anything new in for fucking ever. Trogdor will never be forgotten.
Or die.
Or die. His big beefy arm will live on. But when he gets there, he starts to have a little PTSD moment.
He's like, oh shit, this is the same as when my mom burninated in show.
Which he...
Speaking of that, nobody who is ever good is named Show.
Well, it was a baby and it's dead, so it doesn't matter.
You arise from the ashes to be a bad guy.
Probably. Because they specifically said, remember, no body, no death. They specifically went out of their way to say there weren't even any bones left of Show, so to bury. It's like,
his bones are gone. Wow.
That'll come back. That'll come back. That will come
Evil
back.
Mastermind is a baby.
Yep. So I love because he has another flashback of his mom and about the promise he made to, I'll always protect you. But of course he can't do that no more because they're dead. But he said, I'll keep my other promise of being a hero. And he claims that there was someone else. And, yes, I did too.
It kind of reminded me of My Hero Academia.
Reminded me of
Naruto,
Naruto, but
the first episode. I feel like it was done better in My Hero Academia.
I was waiting for Shinra to go, I will be the next Hokage. Believe it.
He will be the next Hokage.
I don't believe it.
Hokage stands for Fire Shadow.
Anyway, so he gets into the fight. It's actually a really cool fight sequence. I have nothing else.
Yeah.
If you don't want to watch
like
the show,
the anime is top notch.
Like,
the animation is top notch.
If nothing else, watch this episode for these animation sequences. Because the way when Shinra's flying around on his feet and shit, the flames coming out from behind him, he's just dodging around things and moving and flying. It's like really badass.
Yeah, there's some really dynamic cinematography in this episode, and they handle all the it was almost like a movie.
Yeah. And I love when he lays waste to that infernal. He just gets up in its face, like flips around, and it just through the burst of his flames, like boom, and then knocks it out of her chest.
It's like, you're done.
But he does it, and because it has all these religious influence in it, he as he does it, like says the final line in the prayer.
Yeah, so this religious stuff kind of got to me because the foreman, after he's like, did you help my wife? And the sister walks up to him and is like, yeah, she didn't suffer.
Yeah.
So it might be a tearjerker.
Yeah, I think that we're doing... I mean, I'll be honest, I did get a little tearjerky at like the scenes with the mom and stuff like that.
Like, you get this feeling that these people that know as soon as someone turns into an infernal, they're just fucking lost.
Yeah.
And there's no hope.
Oh, my goodness. So, that was the end of the episode. He actually, for the first time ever... gets some praise for something he's done, and the captain's like, you see here, you got your first of many hero moments, Shinra.
And his smile is completely different.
It is, yeah. It's like he talks about how he hasn't had a genuine smile since the day his mom died.
He has that shark tooth smile throughout the entirety of the episode until after that dude says, thank you, and then he has this different smile.
Yeah, it was so... I mean, I will give that show that. That was actually really good. I like the way they portrayed that. But, so that was the episode. How do we feel, based on its first showing, about the show in general?
It was on fire.
It was. It was pretty much on fire. But I wouldn't say it was lit.
There's your non-genuine smile.
This, as we stated, feels like generic shonen anime, the anime. It's like, let's tick off all the things that make a shonen anime. Yep. The only thing I think that might set it apart is it's a shonen battle anime, like you pointed out. It's one that actually seems to have useful female characters.
Yeah, this is one of my criticisms about it. Of course, shonen battles tend to be targeted towards young boys.
Yeah.
And young boys really don't give a fuck about girls, so... I don't think this is in Shonen Jump either, so...
No, it's not. At least I didn't see Shonen Jump anywhere on it, but...
So, it might have that going for it.
Like I said, on the pluses, I really did dig how they portrayed Shinra and his backstory. Like, I actually did feel really bad for him. Like, I felt, it was like, I wanted to punch his grandma. Jesus Christ. Like, look at that cricket smile of his. He's so fucking ugly. Oh, that's a horrible child. You see, the devil, he's the fucking devil. It's like, Jesus, fuck, lady.
Okay, chill out, grandma.
Any final thoughts? I mean, I'll be honest. There's going to have to be, like, all the other anime we're going to watch this season, other ones we haven't seen this week that are coming out next week, there's going to have to be a lot of bad ones for us, I think, for us to really stick with Fire Force, to be perfectly honest.
I can still stick with it.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it might be one of those things. I don't know.
I'll stick with it just to see Swole Maki.
Yeah, God. There was a brief moment where you do see her abs. It's very brief. But Jesus Christ, she is ripped.
It reminded me of... I can't remember the actress's name, but the woman that plays John Connor's mother in Terminator.
Oh, yeah.
And you see the difference from when it goes from Terminator 1 to Terminator 2.
Yes.
And she's just fucking ripped.
Yes. It's kind of like that, only in anime. So, has that perpetual cuteness to her. So she's like cute and ripped at the same time, which is a weird combo, but it works. They pull it off here. So that was Fire Force, an interesting anime. I don't know. I feel too formulaic. We'll see what happens. But until then,
well, like you said, we do have a lot of other shows, and we can't load up our schedule with Shonen Battle.
Yes.
So it may have to go away. I don't think it's terrible like some other shows that we've watched.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying it's terrible.
It might have to go away just on the merits of it being in a crowded field.
Yeah. And speaking of Shonen Battle, let's move right along to the next entry. Next on our list is Granbelm. What happens if you take a shonen, a magical girl anime, and a mecha anime and sort of like squish them into one? Like, if you took like SD Gundam and Madoka Magica and just insert shonen battle and just sort of what do you get? You get Granbelm.
There's also another anime in there which is called the Fate series, which I know you haven't watched yet.
I've seen only the few scenes you showed me.
I kind of get this feeling from the Granbelm, as they call it, which is just a battle royale where they all get together and try to smite each other, and I'm guessing there's some prize for the last man standing, or last girl standing in this case.
I don't know. In fact, they didn't even say what the prize was, or if they did, it was like they were just sort of brushed it off.
Well, maybe we just haven't got that far in because they were just trying to murder each other.
Well, no, there was a scene where the one girl in black, the chick who looks just like the chick, from Madoka Magica.
I know that she started dumping some exposition there.
Yeah,
for like a minute, but in the post credit scene, they said they're going to explain more in the next episode.
Okay.
So I don't think we got the full picture yet.
So, main chick, little pink-haired girl, because of course it's a magical girl show, so of course there's a main chick with pink hair. Why wouldn't there be?
She was watching some Gordon Ramsay show and making some lunches for kids.
But of course, because she was watching Gordon Ramsay show and tried to emulate it, turns out to be bad food.
Yes. Somehow, this always happens.
Yes. And she realized she forgot one of the lunches at school. Because...
Like, big whoop, who cares?
Yeah. Because apparently she can't wait till tomorrow to go get the fucking thing. She has to go get it now, when school's closed.
I'm calling bullshit on this one. There's
How
no
does she get
reason
into
that
school?
she gets inside the school building.
Like, not only is there a stone wall with a gate there, but I'm pretty sure the doors are locked.
Like,
how did she get in?
She got caught. She'd be like down at the police department for trespassing.
Yeah.
They're like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
But somehow she gets in school.
I was there to get my lunch that I left there. Bullshit! You're going to jail. She confessed.
Yeah. So, while she's in school, there's a big old red moon in the sky, and suddenly there's a mecha outside the window, because
no,
why not?
The moon's been there the whole episode, and she's been hearing the Jason Voorhees tune.
No, she keeps hearing like voices, like little like
the Jason Voorhees.
Wasn't Jason Voorhees like a little?
No, it's like some breathing thing where they go.
Oh.
Yeah, that's basically what she's hearing.
Yeah, and suddenly she hears it, and she sees a big old yellow eye outside her classroom window.
And she's like, "Ah, what the fuck is that?"
And then the window explodes, and then the world gets.
She's dead. End of episode.
And the world gets transformed around her into like this sort of like, I don't know what you call it, like an old Renaissance village-looking zone. And
this is the battle arena.
Yes. And then she sees a big old mecha, well, a big old SD mecha in front of her. And they're all like, it's all like, hey, other mecha girls. Yes? There's a person there. Kill it.
They're like, okay.
Got it, Roger.
See, this is like the fucking nightmares I used to have as a kid, is that I'd be like in a building or something, and then Godzilla or something would show up.
I had those, yes!
And I was like, no, I can't handle this. I mean... Nowadays, I'm like, whatever, this is cool. I can deal with it now. But as a kid, I was like, that was one of my fears, you know? Yeah. Some giant monster was going to show up. And we got these SD Gundams running around, you know? They're short and wide.
Yes. Although they're still like 4 stories tall.
Yeah, they're really big.
But they look visually like they're squished and stretched. And there's a black one fighting against 3 other ones, and then the 3 break off into one-on-one.
Kind of sitting there while the one fights them, and they're trying to. The other 2 are trying to murder the girl that showed up.
Yes. So what transpires is a really cool fight scene between the black one and the Richie one, the one with the big rich girl hair and all that jazz. And
this kind of reminded me of the trailers I watched back in the day when oh fuck, what's the name of that series?
No, I don't know. You're thinking of something I don't know what you're talking about.
The mechs that Kojima made.
Metal Gears?
No, not Metal Gears. Oh shit! I know it's on your shelf over there.
Is it Armored Core?
No, not Armored Core.
Zone of the Enders?
Zone of the Enders.
It's actually not on my shelf over there.
Oh, you got rid of it? You fool!
I know. Look, there was a time in my life where I thought the idea of trading games in the GameStop was a good idea. I know. I was young. I was stupid. I lost so many one-of-a-kind games that way. I'm sorry, world. I'm sorry. If I could, I'd go back.
Apologize.
I'd go back in time and kick myself in the nuts. But, you think Zone of the Enders?
Yeah, this reminded me of Zone of the Enders, as I saw in the trailers.
Oh, okay, I see.
Where I thought, man, that's really confusing, and I'll never be able to handle that.
Okay.
And then I actually played it, and I was like, did I remember the trailers right? Because I seem to remember the trailers where they were doing all these dynamic sweeping camera angles, and I'm like, I could never handle that.
Yep. So... how do I describe this episode? There's a lot of the girl running away from
You've already
Mecha.
Described it. This is Fate Magical Girl SD Gundam.
Yeah, Shonen.
Yes.
Because after this really cool fight between the what do they call it? Armaxes?
Something like that. They should just call them SD Gundams.
Let's call them SD. We're gonna call them SD Gundams until we get the real name.
Armanox is what it was.
Armanox?
Yeah.
Okay. So these 2 Armanoxes, the black one and a big old red and gold one, are fighting each other, and it looks like eventually the black one wins, and she goes to save the little girl, our main protagonist, and she saves her, and for a time there she gets out of her mecha, and they have some exposition. She's all like, "What magician are you descended of? What mage are you descended of?" And she's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." It's like, well, that's where we are. We're in the battlefield where descendants of mages, the 7 mages, battle it out until there's only one left, and then she leaves it at that. She didn't say what the prize was. And
no, you get to become the Princep.
Oh, to become the Princep.
Which, as you...
the Princess of Biceps.
Yes, so when you become the Princep, you become the Princess of of biceps. I'm pretty sure it's an actual word, but
Probably. And
yeah, Princess of Biceps. I'm going with that from now on.
And she's all like, "Oh, well, what's your name?" And she's like, "Oh, my name's blah blah blah." And she's like, "What's yours?" Like, "Oh, it's blah blah blah." And she's like, "Oh wow, we're both named after the moon or whatever."
Shingetsu and Mangetsu.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. And I will not remember that for a few weeks, but I'll get there eventually. I'll get there. But before they really get to continue their exposition, yet another magical SD Gundam decides to try and drop a nuke on them from orbit.
She's like, "Yeah, I got him."
And
I didn't.
Another one went, "What, you dumb? Don't you clearly missed them." And so it hurts the black SD Gundam, and she had another girl's all like, "Oh, it's hurt. Yes, I can beat her now."
So this was the girl from the previous time that was trying to hunt down our pink-haired protagonist.
Yeah, one of the two, yeah.
And was making the Jason Voorhees sounds, and she's going, "What is that? I don't know what it does, but I better run."
Yeah. So,
but she's like, "Yeah, she's hurt. I can take her out now."
So they start to fight. She's got a really cool boomerang. I kind of liked her boomerang blade thing.
But she's not long for this world.
No. Because plot happens. And, the girl, she's running and running, she still hears the Jason Voorhees noises in her head, until finally she, I guess she ran to the perfect point where the planets aligned, where, the big island in the center. Oh, yeah, because that's where I guess 1,000 years ago, there was magic in the world.
Yeah, and then some dude was like...
Seven mages were all like, well, magic's being used to wage war and shit now. Gotta lock away all the magic.
Lock away all the magic.
All of it. And I guess girls are all descended from these mages, assumedly. So she lines up with that island and the moon, so that a straight line between all of them. Mm-hmm. And I guess that was the perfect celestial spot that unlocks her inner magical girlness. And she creates a mecha.
She gets her own SD Gundam and
doesn't know how to use
it at all. And so she's like, "Shigetsu, how do I do this?"
And the evil chick is all like, "Yes, 2 good things happen in a day. I can take care of both y'all."
She said 2 Sundays in a row or something. And she said it in English.
Oh yeah, she did actually. And she goes to kill off Mangetsu. Mangetsu.
She's like, "Oh, this is a golden opportunity. I better get her."
And she does a really cool wind technique where she moves so fast she creates the after images or whatever and shoots her with a bunch of tornadoes.
She sends her bats or whatever.
At first, yeah.
And then she kills the bats she's like,
with a Gundam beam saber. That's straight up a Gundam beam saber.
And so this girl gets enraged and she's like, "I've got to get my revengeance."
Well, that's the thing. Talking about the design of Mangetsu's SD Gundam, does it have enough eyes? For the love of how many eyes does it have?
You said it had chameleon eyes.
It has giant yellow chameleon eyes here. It has giant purple eyes for shoulders. And then it has its yellow, normal yellow eyes under the visor. It's this thing's got eyes to spare. And she's able to whip out, Gundam beam sabers from her shoulder eyeballs.
I thought the beam saber was cool. It's not the coolest beam saber I've seen, but
no, it's not bad. I'm not gonna knock it for that just for the beam saber.
Yeah, then she does do that. The aggressor girl, I'm gonna call her, because I don't think we got a name for her at all.
We did, but she was so inconsequential. It's why bother committing it to memory?
Yeah, so she charges her, does her special attack, which summons some tornadoes, and I thought it looked really cool.
It did, yeah. I'm not gonna.
But Mangetsu has her rookie luck and completely wipes her out with her beam saber from Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh, you mean the oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
the limit break where he brings down a giant.
Yeah, but do we have to talk about Final Fantasy VIII? Can't I just forget about that game?
We can talk about it and you can forget it.
Okay, because that was one of the worst Final Fantasies ever. But anyway,
this man has never played Final Fantasy II.
Yes, I have. I said one of. I didn't say the worst. I said one of. But trust me, Final Fantasy. Topic. Damn it. So yeah, she gets her rookie luck, and she actually, strangely enough, she gets the first KO of the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Which then sends her power up to the tree thing.
One thing I thought that was inconsistent is that giant cathedral or whatever the fuck, the sphere with all the magic in it.
Oh yeah.
It didn't seem consistent. Like at one point there were like 5 orbs, and then there's 6 orbs, and then at another point there's 7.
I don't know. Maybe the girls are coming in one at a time. And they just added a new one as each one showed up.
Okay, maybe that's the.
I don't know.
Maybe you're right about that.
I don't know. So that's pretty much where the episode ends.
Well, I just want to speculate because we don't know what happens to the girl that she evaporated with the beam saber.
Yeah, we know she went total Tekka-Man on this dude, like Tekka-Man Blade. She's just like, it's like Volteka, and like wiped her ass out.
Because in Gundam shows, they turn if a human gets hit by a beam saber, you get turned into quote hamburger
or evaporated.
And she got hit by this beam saber, and we saw her gem thing inside the attack get completely busted. Yeah. Like you said, this is like Modica or whatever. I don't know if that killed her or if she got ejected from the isekai world.
Oh my god, that was so funny when like Mongetsu, what's her name?
Yeah,
Mongetsu.
Mongetsu's like, so this is an isekai? And she's like, no.
Shingetsu's like, no, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you, fool?
I just love the fact that Mongetsu got excited about it. She's like, oh shit, did I get isekai'd?
There were no trucks involved.
I love it. So, continue. I'm sorry. I broke your train of thought.
No, that's the only thing. Is she dead? Is the girl that she defeated dead?
Well, there are so many questions with Grand Belm.
That's the only thing I'm curious about right now.
The goal, we have a goal. It's to stay alive. Like, literally, it's almost like Hunger Games and SD Gundams.
It's fate.
And the prize is... question mark.
I mean, staying alive is a pretty good prize.
I know, but it's like, why are they there to fight to begin with? What's the purpose? The show has not. It said it gave us backstory, and that there's no magic in the world that's been trapped here by these 7 sages.
We'll find out in the next episode, I guess.
But it's your first episode should tell us why we should care about continuing. Just to the idea of okay, we're gonna keep watching it just so you can tell us why we're still watching this. It's kind of a bad reason to continue to watch it.
Oh no, I kind of like the SD Gundams.
Okay, they had neat designs, but I can't get over the fact that they look like giant metal dwarves. They look like giant metals, like stylized dwarves.
Point taken, given that they're so wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any more to add about this. Watch it or don't.
Yeah, this is another one to me feels very generic. But unlike in Fire Force's case, where it was like a straight up shonen that is checking off all the shonen check marks, this one's like, okay, 3 checkmark lists. We need to check off 3 different genres at the same time. Okay, we got the
whole mixing here.
Yeah, but it's
like weird.
But it's not even just mixing. Again, it's mixing by the numbers. Like, it's like, here's the magical girl by the numbers. Here's the SD Gundam by the numbers. Here's the tournament arc by the numbers. I never watched Fate, so I don't know.
It is a tournament arc.
It is.
It's a tournament arc unto its own.
Yes. So I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be something I'm really into. Like you said though, battles were gorgeous, and that was one of the things that kept us going.
You said that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh no, I'm saying that was Fire Force. Sorry. Yeah, Grand Belm. Yeah, I was talking about. Got mixed up. Grand Belm is No, I'm not saying the battles weren't fun. They were fun to watch.
Yeah, they were fun.
I think the mecha were really so far the only like guiding force, like the redeeming force of this.
We don't get a lot of mecha these days.
Not a lot of good ones.
That's the one thing it has in its favor is that it is a mecha.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that it's good.
Didn't we just get Quadruple S not too long ago?
What?
The super.
Oh, Gridman.
Yeah, Gridman. Yeah.
Well,
I heard people say that was good.
Gridman is a really great show, but
it was like somewhere between a mecha and a kaiju.
I wouldn't really say that he's a mecha in the traditional sense of people getting inside of mechanical suits and piloting them.
Okay.
Because he transforms into a giant guy.
That's true. Yeah. Thinking about what was the last thing I can't think of the mecha? I think the last thing I could think of that was mecha was that one with the fishing in space.
if you want to.
They were in mech. They were in mechs. They were in mech suits. They were in mech suits.
That show was fucking hilarious.
That's true.
Because it was bad.
Yeah, but so yeah. Like I said, I don't know if Grand Belt is another one. I think a lot of bad shows are going to have to be this season for us to really commit to continuing it.
Well, I think it has that problem that we do have a lot of action shows that we've been watching.
We'll see what happens. But we have 2 more anime to talk about, so let's go ahead and hop, skip, and jump right over to those.
And the best show of the season is How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift?
Whatever.
I just wanted to say that to trigger him.
It's obviously our comedy choice of the season.
So far.
Yeah. So far, my ass. The only other thing that's on our list that can even go, fall into that category is I have no hopes for it, but.
You mean the Gabriel Dropout clone?
Oh, I forgot about that one. That one actually might be better.
We got that one, and I'm not even going to talk about it yet.
Okay, so we're talking about How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift. That's what we're talking about, and please just tell us. This was an all you thing. I protested even bothering, but you insisted. There's the mic. There's your mouth. Tell them.
I have read a few chapters of the manga. That's why I insisted.
I see.
And as to not spoil it if we do keep it, I'm not going to talk about those future chapters.
Okay.
This is a weightlifting show, which gets some things right and gets some things wrong.
Yeah.
You may not be able to tell it, but back in like 2005, 2006, I was a health nut. I kind of got out of that really bad.
No.
I would wake up every day, do my exercises first thing in the morning, and I was actually eating pretty well.
Hey, want me to go get those Kit Kats again?
Yes,
What's on those?
Maybe by this show I will find the motivation to get back into that routine and lose a bunch of weight.
Anyway, we're almost 2 minutes in. We haven't even talked about the show yet.
I talked about the title.
What is How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift? What is this show?
So one day our hero, Hibiki Sakura, is walking down the road, and her friend is like, "Girl, you fat."
After about a minute and a half of showing her eating different things with all their calorie counts.
Yeah.
Their K calorie counts.
And she's like, "What?
Come on. No. What?" But then we got a naked scene of her at home on a.
Okay, so yeah, the scene where she's weighing herself on the scale. She weighs herself and she comes out as 55 kilograms.
Yes.
Which is about 120 pounds, so...
The horror! Oh my god, not 120 pounds! No!
We covered all of our bases in the metric covered world, the metric using world, and Freedom Land.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, man, for someone who's supposedly fat, she's pretty good looking.
Yeah, she is pretty good looking.
She's pretty, I'm like, it's like, seriously? This is what the Asians consider fat and unattractive?
Yes,
is 122 grams?
At 120 pounds, you have to be very, very short. So she has to be like 4'11".
Not even, like maybe 4'3". Because it's like, there's no way you can be... 120 pounds is not that fat.
It's hard to make that argument when we're thinking about it, but
I guess
maybe if she is 5 feet tall.
Yeah, maybe. And I guess she's a high schooler.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, she's a growing girl. She needs that. She
needs all that fucking junk food we get to watch her. All that cylindrical and spherical junk food we get to watch her eat.
She's eating the takoyaki. She's eating the ice cream.
Licking that ice cream. They lingered on showing that ice cream.
Yeah, so the show is kind of ecchi, but it's not the
kind of. It was there in its descriptor.
It's not the
it's tagged as ecchi.
It's not like To Love Ru or any show like that where they just show the tits straight out. But
yeah, they did. They tastefully. When she was weighing herself, they tastefully put the steam smug over top of her.
There's a light beam. It was like a Gabriel Dropout where she's talking about it. She's like, "Oh, but the fog the heavenly fog covers it up." And she's just looking at the scale. She's like, "Holy fuck, I'm a fat ass." So she's like, I gotta correct this. So the first thing she does is go down to the fridge.
Yes, she does.
And then she's like, then there's a cut, and she's in a gym, and she's like, I didn't want to spend any money, but... And then they go to the backstory about how she tried to do it on her own, but she couldn't because she could not keep herself motivated.
2 days.
2 days she gave up running.
3
After
days.
3 days she gave up her strength training. And so she's in the gym, signing up. And
This gym, I swear to God. And she meets another one of someone her own age, a girl for her grade, but a different class.
So this gym is actually a
Recently built Silverman Gym.
I want to say it's I don't know the right word right now. There's an actual gym in the real world called Gold's Gym, which is where Arnold Schwarzenegger went to get his muscles.
Oh, so this is a parody with it being Silverman's
It's like
Gym.
a parallel.
Okay.
Because it's called Silverman's Gym.
Yeah.
And you know they got worldwide blah blah blah.
So I love this chick she meets.
It's for the real serious weightlifters.
So she meets a chick. The chick that she meets is like she's also in her grade, but a different class, and she's like, oh, I can't talk to her. She's both super smart and super athletic. She's like a goddess. I can't, there's no way I could possibly talk to her.
But her friend spots her, and she's like, I'm so glad you came.
That's like I think I can't remember if she says it then or later, where she's like, the old gym I used to go to. I didn't know anyone there. Let alone anyone who was my age.
Yeah. So they're going over there, and one of the fitness trainer chicks is like, come this way, I'm going to give you the tour. And she takes them both over to the room, opens it up, and inside are a bunch of dudes that have been weightlifting forever.
Yeah, that's those old...
They're most serious of serious guys about...
Yeah, the dudes are just like
getting ripped.
Like, you just see all their individual muscles, they're all just bulging.
Yeah, the first thing you see is this dude just... He's got these weights, and like... I can't explain it.
This muscle
this
right
dude's
here...
bicep just like explodes.
Yeah, it's like... It's like, what the fuck?
Like, whoa, what the fuck is this dude doing?
Yeah, so it's like a bunch of like all of the huge, like half naked dudes all bulging, like going, oh, oh. Like you ever been to the gym? Like they actually had like many gyms actually like ban this, but like you go to the gym, you see there's always that one guy who's in there. Oh, oh. It's like
yeah.
It's like Jesus.
Getting the gains.
It's like a room full of those dudes, just all those dudes. And Miki's all like, I'm in the wrong place.
She's like, I'm in the wrong place. So
like her image was all like, I imagine like a health spa with people, like walking around and like doing the health spa bit.
So this show is billed for the fan service, and what that usually means is that it's on the girls. Mm-hmm. But we're getting it from both sides here.
Yes, we are, because
there's stuff for the guys and there's stuff for the girls.
Yep. Because wait, I love when they pan over to the Hibiki's like, hey, what's her name? The other girl?
Akemi.
It's like, hey, Akemi, think of an excuse so we can both get out of here.
Get out of here, man. This is not the gym I wanted to go to.
And it pans over to Akemi, and she is just hearts in her eyes, drooling like, oh my god, yes! I'm coming in my pants! This is amazing! Oh, the muscles, I love them!
Yeah, she obviously likes muscular guys.
Oh, yes.
And, Hibiki wants to leave. She's like, I didn't sign up for this.
But then the normal-looking guy comes over. And...
Yeah, this normal dude in a tracksuit shows up, and he's like, so are you gonna join? And she turns around and it's like, oh, Prince Charming.
Yes, I want to join. It's like it's automatically her Prince Charming, and it's like, oh, I need to. I'm gonna marry you. You're so amazing. And even Akemi gets turned on by him, and
so he takes him back to do the first exercise of the day, which is the bench pressing. And
now this show, you when you texted me about it over Discord, you described it as cells at work.
Yeah, when I was watching it, it kind of reminded me of it because it's educational in a sense.
Because every time they go to do a weightlifting thing, like some kind of training or weightlifting, any kind of exercise, they actually go through like the spiel with cells at work. They go through the explaining it and what it does and why it's good and how to properly do it. Although, and this is the part for us guys, when they do it, they do it in a very pandering way with a
Yes,
Kemi.
they do a real pandering shot. So we go from our muscular guys with no shirts on over to the girls doing the bench pressing, and they're like, yeah, this is the bench pressing, and this camera, the camera is doing things to these girls.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
But what's funny is I will admit, I did love how they broke the fourth wall with...
Yeah, he's like, you're just pandering to the audience with these sexy shots.
It's like you want to say they know what they're doing, but then the show goes, yes, we know what we're doing.
So I do feel in a way that this is a little better than Cells at Work, because you shot right back at me when I said that.
Yeah.
So do they just put walls of text and then put another wall of text under that and start speaking about this wall of text? They don't do that, although there were some troubles with our subtitles today.
Yeah, they did. Sometimes Hibiki would talk and there would be no subtitles.
Like, the subtitles from the last sentence would just stick there.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was a technical difficulty or something, but...
I don't know. So we get to the bench press.
We do the bench press, and she's like, since you're a beginner, just do it at the bar, and...
three sets of 10.
Yeah, she's like, how much does the bar weigh? And he's like, 20 kilograms, and she's like, that's gonna kill me. And she doesn't even make it through 3 sets of 10.
No, she does.
No, she does like a set of 10, 7, and 5 or something.
Oh,
like
that's
that.
right. Yeah, you're right.
And he's like, good job!
Yep. And he's a very encouraging guy. I like this guy. He's very encouraging.
I mean, with somebody like Hibiki who doesn't like to work out, you gotta put as much encouragement as you can.
He did a good job at that. But then Kemi gets up on the bench press and is like, you know what? Give me 40 kilograms.
Yeah, so...
And
she's like, already outdoing me!
Well, what I find funny is because she, like, as she's doing the exercises, she's getting off on it. Because she's like Kemi keeps, or Hibiki keeps bringing up, she's all like, what's with all the heavy breathing? Because she's sitting there with this like, glowing smile on her face after she's finished her sets.
Okay, so they do cover something in this show. I started taking karate classes when I was 17? I think so. And
I would have known you by then. I don't remember you doing karate classes, but
that's because you didn't go to the classes with me.
I don't even remember you talking about them, but okay.
And we did have to do pre-workouts before we started learning everything.
Yeah.
And the first Saturday, we did so much workouts that the next day, actually the next entire week, I was so sore.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I was like, this is great. So I kept poking myself, and I was like, oh, that hurts. But I love it.
And Kemi was sort of like that. She's all like, oh, she's like rubbing all on herself, like, oh, I can feel it in my chest. I love it. Oh, that feels so good. Oh, it's like, yeah, I was kind of with...
She's kind of a masochist, so.
Yeah, I was kind of with Hibiki on this, like, girl, chill the hell out, all right? So, it's like, but then what's funny is like, she's talking to the trainer guy. I can't remember exactly what she's like. You know,
his name is Machio.
Machio, yeah. Hey, Machio, you sure it's not embarrassing to be seen with such a weakling like me? He's like, hey,
no,
come on,
we do the best.
Yeah, we all start somewhere. It's all cool, like can't all be as great as me. And she's like, huh? And he's like, he like rips that through his tracksuit. He like talks fucking out.
It's like a fucking Brondo commercial. He's like, argh!
And he's like, and like his tracksuit just rips and tears until he's nothing but a Speedo with like a very pronouncedly drawn junk right there in the Speedo.
Hey.
It's just like, junk, hi junk on my big old screen.
This show is nothing but fan service. We're getting it from the guys and the girls.
This is very true. Which I find funny because when she comes back the next day, or the next time she comes, because she couldn't have come back the next day. They showed the next day, but she's at school and she couldn't even stand.
Yeah. she has the after workout soreness, and she's like, oh fuck.
So when she finally can go back to the gym, she goes back and he's just standing there butt naked in that Speedo, and she keeps being bothered.
Yeah.
She's like, dude, you can't say shit like that to me while you're naked. Put some clothes on. So next day is squats.
Yeah, squats, which they do totally wrong.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
You pointed it out.
Well, oh yeah, she does totally wrong because her legs don't go parallel to the ground. She stops, before she's truly parallel to the ground.
Featherhoof comes from a long line of people in his family that do bodybuilding.
Well, they didn't do bodybuilding. They did weightlifting competitively.
Yeah.
So,
I do have a story about this.
Yeah.
It's a relevant story for once.
Just watch names though. Let's just keep names out.
I'm not going to say the actual names, but I was sitting in university back in 2008 when I started going, and some weightlifter guys were down there, and they were talking about weightlifting, and of course these guys have biceps that are bigger than my head, and they're sitting down there, and you're like, the one guy's like, you know who I hate, and they're like, oh no. And he's like, I hate that Featherhoof's brother. And I'm just sitting there like, I know that guy. That's Featherhoof's brother.
Yeah, my brother did win some several meets.
The reason they hate him is because, like, you can't even tell it by looking at him. He's like Machio.
He is, yeah, dead serious. Where you have clothes on him, you cannot tell the dude's ripped and swole as fuck. My brother, we go to Florida or something together, and he's sitting there in his, we're all sitting there in our bathing suits. You would not know that me and my brother are brothers.
Yeah, so your brother actually set a record when we were younger.
Yes, he did.
I don't know if it still stands now.
No idea.
But yeah, he set a record at the time.
Yeah.
That pissed these guys off because they couldn't look as small as him and have the record.
This is high school. We're talking high school and early college. We're talking about.
Well, that's when he set the record.
Yeah.
When I heard the story, when I first encountered it, it was 2008.
Yeah. So. Anyway, so now we're doing squats in Silverman Gym.
Yeah.
Akemi's over there, and she's got the bar and some weights on it, and she's doing it perfect, and she's got perfect form and everything.
And Hibiki's like, yeah, I gotta do the squats, and oh shit, these are killing me.
Yeah, and funny, he tells her how to do it, and it says, okay, practice in front of the mirror without the bar. She gets, not only does she do the squats, she doesn't do them properly. I don't know if they just didn't draw it properly or what, because her legs, her upper thighs were not parallel to the ground like they should have been. They're a little off.
Yeah, you kind of angle your feet too, so you don't wreck your knees.
She gets 5 in, and she's like, boom! It's like she can't do it no more.
You get the feeling that this girl just cannot handle this shit.
This girl's never done... The most exercise she's ever done is walk to get food and use her arms to bring food to her face.
But she does have these daydreams of her doing this stuff and getting super fit. They have these shots where she's like... Well, she's smaller than she is in the show.
But she's already small. I don't know. She's all upset about being fat. Like, come on.
But she has this ideal form where all the guys are going to come after her.
The Barbie form.
No, it's not a Barbie form.
You know what I mean. Like the Barbie ideal sort of thing.
Yeah, I understand, but...
Yeah. But anyway. And then it's funny because she totally wrecks herself without the bar. And then the Machio's all like, oh yeah, I can understand that is one of the most, it's pretty intense workout. And she's like,
I kind of disagree.
She's like, you're supposed to say that beforehand, damn it. It's like, okay, now let's try it with the bar.
Let's try it with the bar.
And she's like, the fuck?
Oh god. she does do it with the bar, but she doesn't make it very far.
No. So, yeah, that was pretty much the episode.
Yeah,
Then we got an end credits scene that creeped me out. Like the ending credits with the ending credits music.
The fucking ending credits.
First off,
we have pointed that out.
Yeah, well, first we have Machio in the center of a circle of a bunch of other swole dudes, and they're all singing this song. And it's just because all the swole dudes have black eyes. They all just have black eyes. It's just sort of like, okay, I'm terrified. I'm terrified now. But then there's just this one scene where it's slowly panning up. There's things happening, even off screen above, and they're slowly panning up to it. But at the bottom, there's a marching row of those swole dudes, like what's it called when it's just from the side?
Side view?
Profile?
Okay.
I think. And don't ask me why, but they're all wearing GIMP masks.
This is an important part. I'm gonna ask your brother sometime how this is to weightlifting. So where's your GIMP mask?
He's gonna look at you like, the fuck? What?
The fuck?
So, yeah, this show, like I said, this is last season we did an Elsewhere in Anime about Yumikura Arashi.
Yeah, Yurikuma Arashi.
He demanded we watch it, and I was like, I don't know. But then by the end of the first episode, I went, can we watch more of that? He demanded we watch it, and just based on the first episode, I don't get the appeal yet.
I read a couple of chapters of the manga, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
I don't know. It feels like it's just a bunch of unnecessary fan service.
No fan service is unnecessary.
It's all unnecessary.
I don't care.
And
Great show. 10 out of 10.
I mean, even for like a comedy, there wasn't really any comedy. It was just like all the comedy was just like Hibiki just getting her ass kicked by the workouts, and then being surprised by Akemi's more adeptness at it.
Well, they're gonna add more characters, and
we'll see what happens. I don't. When we were looking at the anime for the season, and we got to this one, and it's just right there in the tags, sports ecchi. I was just like, pass, and you were all like, no, wait a minute.
It would be a mistake to pass on this show.
I don't know.
That being said, if fan service is not your cup of tea, maybe you would want to skip this, but I'm not going to skip it.
All right, we'll see what happens. We'll see what we still have. Like I said, there's still anime next week that we have to get into. So, I mean, and we'll narrow it all down after we have a nice informed decision. If we need a good comedy and there's nothing else there, then maybe we'll stick with this. I don't know, but we still have one more anime we watched this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think either of us are in disagreement about that. So let's go ahead and talk about that one right after this fade cut. Final episode this week was Vinland Saga. Now, we saw the trailer, and when we go through them every season before the season starts, none of them have English names yet. It's like the Vinland Saga. That was the name on that one. Like some of them, like how heavy are your dumbbells, was this long string of Japanese words. But like just Vinland Saga, like what is this? It's just you start watching the trailer and it's just Vikings. Oh look, Vikings over there. So we just labeled it Vikings in all caps.
Yeah, we also take turns reading the synopses and making fun of them sometimes, but I got like 2 words into it, and it says something about Vikings, and I was like, let's just add this.
There was a show. Cindy watched it. I think it was called like just Vikings. It was like sort of like Games of Thrones, but with Vikings or something like that.
Well, it definitely wasn't this show because it just came out.
No. It was an animated. It was like live action or something like that. But it literally is anime Game of Thrones with Vikings. That's how it feels to me so far. Just minus there was no sex yet.
But you hated Game of Thrones.
I know, but it's just I'm to give a comparison. And I didn't hate Game of Thrones. I was just bored by it.
Oh yeah, that's what you said. You're bored by it, but then at the end of the episode, you're like, what happens in the next episode?
Exactly. I mean, allow me to, I think I've done this before, but allow me to demonstrate Featherhoof watching a Game of Thrones episode. I'm bored. End of episode comes up. Oh, okay, next episode. I don't know why. This, however, did not instill that in me at all. I was glued to the screen. I was totally in on this.
Well, first things first, the opening sequence from MAPPA shows has been hijacked by Wit Studio.
Yes, they did! I love that!
You're like, what the fuck?
Because it does the MAPPA Studios opening with the motorcycles, and what did it say, Vincent on the side? It was like sort of...
Yeah, it was like, that's different.
Yeah, it's like, Vince, oh, okay, well, maybe... And then it goes through the whole thing with the 5 or 6 motorcyclists, and they go off into the sun, into the gray sunset, and then it's supposed to say MAPPA, but it said...
Like,
what did it say again?
Really, Wit Studio, the guys that do that have done Attack on Titan.
Ah, okay.
So we're at least guaranteed to have some great fight scene. Well, we did have a great fight scene.
Oh yes, I mean it just starts. Well, actually, when it started, I was like, oh look, anime gladiator.
Oh yeah,
literally, he's in the field of wheat and he sees his wife and child off, and then it's like Thors, and it's like.
Now I have an opinion about Gladiator. Is
Russell Crowe's the one with Russell Crowe in it, by the way.
Yeah, with Russell Crowe. I did not like Russell Crowe in that movie.
I like the movie, though.
I felt like he was the weakest part of it,
Commodus was the best part of it.
I love fucking Commodus. I was like, that dude got fucking robbed with it because like they won all the fucking Oscars, but Commodus got robbed.
He did. He was the best character in that movie. Jesus fuck. He was the. I want like anytime Russell Crowe was on screen, I'm like, again, I'm bored. You're not compelling as an actor. You're boring me. And then Commodus would come on like, oh Jesus, this man's insane. Holy shit.
I love this guy.
Oh. Well, love's a strong word. I
love the act of it.
Okay, yeah. So he has like a near-death experience in the middle of a battle, and then sort of snaps out of it.
It's almost shot for shot of Gladiator, where he's seeing I think his wife and daughter.
Yeah.
In the fields of grain.
Yeah. I mean, it is so shot for shot. I swear to God, if I had the motivation to put them on there and wasn't afraid of copyright shit, I would put that on here for you to see.
Yeah, you get hit hard for that.
Yeah, but then he just sort of snaps out of it because like some blonde dude starts screaming his name.
He's like, "Bro, we gotta fuck shit up because we're Vikings."
And they're having a battle on boats in the middle of the ocean.
This is a badass battle sequence.
It is. Oh my God! It was like sort of like almost reminiscent of like God of War shit going on here. It was neat. And he's like, okay, when such and such and such and such boats come up, then you flank around with blah blah blah. And he's like, okay, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna end this war. I'm gonna end this fight. And then
he's like, what?
And then he jumps from boat to boat, like literally like Hulk style. The Hulk like does that mega jump. He does that from boat to boat.
He's like, yeah, I see that you're nimble.
And murders everyone along the way, but mind you. He kind of looks like, if I were to describe him, he sort of like looks like Ulbrich from like Octopath Traveler. I don't know if that means anything to you. I don't know if you've ever played that.
I have still yet to play that game. Nintendo has convinced me through changes in their policy and games that are coming out on their system that maybe I should get a Switch.
Yes, you should, but in the meantime, it's on PC now.
Oh yeah, it is. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm not going to buy it again because I already own it on Switch.
That's right.
But yeah, he looks a lot. This reminds me a lot of Ulbrich, like the character Thor's. But he jumps from boat to boat, and then a guy tackles him into the water. He kills that guy underwater.
You see with his own sword.
Yeah, and then there's and then drops it.
It's like, I don't need that.
And then he swims out of the war.
Well, they'd already burned down all of their ships.
But he's like, I'm gonna go end this fight, and then swims to shore and walks away. I have a feeling that he sort of left the battlefield. I think that's gonna come back as part of like a plot point later.
Maybe.
But then it's just like cut to sometime later. Thor's is living in a town with Leif Erikson and his children.
Historic character.
Yeah,
and Leif is telling about his ventures over to Vinland, about how he met the Native Americans and got
the Native Vinlands, the Vinlands,
and got a war chief hat
and a pipe,
and it's like
a peace pipe.
These are all gifts.
Yep, and the kids are all calling him out like, "Come on, you're not a warrior.
Come on, your story's complete bullshit."
We all know that there's nothing past Jorgemons.
Yeah, they're like. My dad told me that.
Granddad.
My granddad told me that. In the west of the sea is Jorgemon, and then after that, there's nothing. You're such a fucking liar.
Meanwhile, but like, Thor's son, Thorfinn, is all like, or Thorfinn, right? Yeah, Thorfinn. He's all like, oh, he's all starry-eyed and shit like that. Yeah, I want to go on a boat. I want to go sailing and blah blah blah.
He's like, okay, then when you get old, no, I want to do it now.
And it's a lot of setting up. You know, we're setting up the world here. We see how they live their day-to-day life, and how Thor's is sort of just, he's a very big man.
He's a very big man.
In this town of normal-sized people.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, with his sickly wife and his starry-eyed son and his
daughter,
who's she's kind of like, I don't want to say lazy because she does what she's told, but she doesn't. She whines about it.
That's true.
But she's sort of like
and she likes to sleep in the same bed as Thor.
Yeah, she's got a little bit of an attitude, but that's fine. I like her. She has a defined personality. Let's put it that way. I just don't. Ylva? I think it's like name.
I don't know, but
They're all like Norwegian names,
but in a
Norse
world,
names.
but in a world where it snows so much that you have to shovel your roof, I feel like I would complain too.
Yeah. And in the middle of this, it like cuts to some guy who's like in the middle of the snowstorm.
He's like, I broke out of somewhere. I'm traveling somewhere in the middle of the snowstorm with inadequate clothing.
So when they're shoveling their roof, seriously, if you live in a place where you gotta shovel your roof, move! You don't want to live there. But while the Ylva falls off the roof and doesn't die,
He's like, oh, dude. Well, it's like a 5-foot drop. So.
I know, but it's still.
She's like, oh wait, something's here.
And she unburies the dude.
And Thor's is like, it's a dude.
And like, Thor's like, something gets like super motivated. I think is the best way to put it. Like, he becomes like,
I don't know what the fuck is up with this guy.
Like laser focus. He's like, go inside. Tell your mother to get to do this and the other, and you do this and get me the blankets, the warmest covered blanket, fur blankets we have. And like they go in there and like Ylva, the daughter, she starts going like, she's like, what? Why are we even bothering? His hands and legs are hands and feet are already dead and discolored and everything. You know, it's like, what? He's dead. Why is Dad trying to bring it back? Because he's like, hundreds of years before CPR was sort of invented, he's doing CPR on this dude.
Maybe 1,000 years.
Yeah, because it's 1,000.
This is one part of the show that I feel like I have to call bullshit because he starts performing CPR on the guy. And he's like, yeah, this will get him.
And in 1002 Iceland,
200 IQ Thors.
Just sitting there. And apparently for fucking ever, because like it goes through like different scenes of like Thorfinn talking to Leif Erikson at the boatyard and getting all offended by it's like, my ancestors were not cowards, because like Leif Erikson talks about how their people came from people who ran away from Norway when the first Norse king Howard or.
Yeah, I think I read history, and I think this guy is a real guy too. Okay,
and Thorfinn gets all upset by the accurate retelling of history. He's like, my ancestors were not cowards; they didn't run away.
Yeah, exactly.
And he comes home. He's like, Dad, were our ancestors cowards? Why is there a dead man there?
He's like, quiet, son. I was just playing GTA, and I need to perform CPR on this guy. So, in a few minutes, he's going to be alive again.
And in a few minutes, he's alive again.
He's like, where'd you come from?
Where did you go?
Answer me.
Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Dude?
And this dude's like, I came from blah, blah, blah.
I came from the east. Oh, yeah, from Halford? I think
something like that.
Like Halford, something like that. And he's like, they're like, dude, you crossed the mountains. Like, you walked that far and crossed mountains in that blizzard? Shit, no wonder you're dead.
He's like, I'm just mostly dead?
Good thing, because with mostly dead, it's slightly alive. Yeah, and with all dead, there's only one thing you could do.
Yeah, just leave them.
I guess, just paraphrase it, sure. But,
So then the dude from Harvard University shows up.
Halford.
No,
Halford, so that's his name.
Halford shows up with his gang.
His entourage.
Yeah, their entourage, and they're like...
His Viking entourage.
We're Vikings, we're gonna fuck shit up. And then the other guys were like, shut up, we're Vikings too, we'll fuck your shit up.
He's like I'm here for... He's like, I'm here for my escaped slave. If any one of y'all is hiding him, and then like a fight breaks out between like one of like Thor's men and...
He's like, I remember you took my arm, and he's like, I remember you took my brother's leg. And he's like, okay, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna take your other arm.
And actually this dude, I guess Halford, dude's creepy as sin, dude. He's like, oh, the only necklace a man should ever wear is chains. It really elevates a man by having
not a silver chain or a gold chain. Iron chains.
Oh, yeah. He's like just like getting off on his speech about
said, yes.
As he's swinging a chain, like swinging the chain. I am Betty. I'm swinging the chain.
And then while this whole scuffle is going on, he's like, and throws this chain at the dude.
His own dude, by the way. His own guy.
His own dude that's missing the arm. And, like, butchers his face with the chain. I don't even know how this works.
He wrapped it, like, he Simon Belmonted it around his face, and then yanked so hard so that it, like, pulled and, like, ripped his
hair off. And
like you see him, like, they try to, don't really show it very well, but you see, like the cuts all around, up and around his skull.
And then he's like, to this guy, he's like, "You betrayed the law!"
Law! He's like, the law is the chain that makes a beast into a man.
Yeah, so this guy really respects the law.
And chains. And sadomasochism. But anyway,
he wants his slave back.
So he just sort of boots his way into Thor's house.
He's like, "Sorry about the inconvenience, Thor's."
Oh, yeah, I love it. He boots his way into the house and goes, Forgive my rudeness,
man. We soon find out why.
And he's like, "Oh, look, there's my slave. I'll have him back now.
I need my slave back."
And Thor's
like, he's nearly dead, bro.
I love it. He just stands
up.
up.
No, I need my slave back. And then, yeah, Thor stands up. And
it's like leagues taller than anyone in that room.
He's like, "Dude, I am so big, I will fuck everybody up."
But then he goes, "How much did you pay for that slave?" He's like, two sheep.
Two sheep.
Or two, both used and both under 3 years old. He goes, "I will give you 4. And, oh no, first he said 3, I will pay you 3. He's like, "No deal. 4? He's like, "What if I ask
I
you?"
must take this guy back and beat him,
Oh,
so the
yeah.
other slaves know not to escape.
He's like, "What if you would give me 4 sheep for this broken piece of a slave
Who's about to die?"
The fuck? What if I asked for double that? Would you pay it?" And then
he's like, "I will give you 8 sheep."
He's like, "Okay, as long as I'm the one to take them."
Okay, if I keep going with this line of thought, I will just be a fucking idiot. So, deal.
And then, oh yeah, he's like, as he's walking out, he's like, "I bet you think you're saving this man from his chains." And Thor just like looks at him like, "Shut up." And the slave then dies. He has a little Elysium moment himself as he sees his family in the afterlife, and then the next scene is there at his grave.
Yeah.
And then Ylva is not too happy. She's like,
we give all these sheep away and this dude fucking died. What the fuck is wrong with you, Dad?
I think there was one line in this episode that was like, "Oh, whoa." But yeah, of course it's supposed to be a historical piece, but still, like when they're shoveling the roof, Ylva's like, "Why can't we just go get a slave to do this?"
Oh, yeah.
And Thor's all like, "That's not how we do things.
We don't do that. We don't do things like that around here. We shovel our own roofs."
Because we're stupid enough to live here. If we're stupid enough to live here, then we're stupid enough to shovel our own roofs, damn it.
Centuries before the roof snowblower was invented. Viking life was made much easier.
And then, I guess, maybe I don't know if I'm reading into what they said at the end wrong. I think then Thor just basically says, "Yep, we're going to Vinland." And then we get a shot of, like, that blonde hair guy from the opening who was fighting alongside Thor's, but, like, older with, like, a beard and stuff like that now, but still blonde, and with, like, a straight cut. Like a flat top cut now. And he's, like, he's on, like, a Viking warboat heading somewhere. Presumably to them, but it doesn't really specifically say, because then credits start to roll.
He's a Viking. He's going somewhere to pillage and beat the fuck out of people because
and rape,
he's a Viking.
And loot,
yes.
And, you know, what the other things that... and
just Viking things.
Yeah, tying burning tinders to pigeons and setting them off, you know. Yeah. The fun bits, you know. The things that made it worth being a Viking, you know? I mean, come on.
If you weren't crushing a man's skull, it wasn't worth living.
So, that was Vinland Saga for episode 1. Nothing happens. But I am so invested! What the fuck is happening? Nothing happens outside that opening fight that Thor just goes, "Oh, okay, bye." And nothing happens after that. Like, literally nothing.
I killed enough dudes today, I'm going home.
And yet I'm so invested! It's drawn really well. It's the sound effects, like when they were like little scuffle they had underwater. They did the sound effects underwater really, really well.
Yeah, they did do great sound design.
I can't speak to the music because I actually don't remember it, to be perfectly honest.
Well, it's just the first episode, so not much music to base it off of.
Yeah, but there's just something about it that has my attention.
Vikings.
It might be that, because there was a time in my life where I was like a huge mythology buff. I loved mythology, and
there was a time in his life when he didn't have Vikings, and now he has Vikings, and his life is right.
There were two sets of mythologies I like researched and read a lot of, and it was Greek/Roman, and Norse.
Yes,
and
as every kid should.
I loved Norse mythology. It was fascinating to me, and so I think maybe it's because it's just this general vicinity of the world. I don't know, but I don't know. Then I also do kind of like the dramatizations of historical events. There's something about those that I find fun to watch.
This is a cool show. It's not very anime too.
No, it's not. It feels like, you know, it's one of those things where like you can look at it, like, oh, that's an anime.
Yeah.
This if you saw Vinland Saga outside of this show anime talk, if your mind wasn't tainted by the fact that we told you it's anime, you just saw it, you go, well, it's animated, but is it anime? You couldn't just go point at it and go anime. Like the facial designs, the eyes, the mouth, the face structures, the bodies, they're not your typical anime fare.
Very true.
So I don't know. There's just something about it. So that was Vinland Saga. Any final thoughts on that?
Vikings.
Okay, Vikings. And that was the first part of Anime Talk Summer 2019. Next week is going to be mostly a new slew of anime. We'll still keep up with what the ones that we're definitely going to keep up with, but I think next week we might not talk about any of these ones at all. We're going to talk about the new ones.
We might not talk about these 6 at all. I believe we picked 10 or 11 shows.
Yeah, so we're going to have like,
and one of them we're like, yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah. But, so we're going to talk about different ones next week. And then we definitely want your opinions, guys, in the comments below of these ones we talked about, of the ones of any anime you know of coming up. If you'd really like to see us watch it, let us know in the comments so we can check it out. I think so far, definitely Vinland Saga and definitely Dr. Stone. Those two are absolute definites.
Okay.
I think. I mean, agree? Disagree? I mean...
I disagree with everything.
Okay. So,
just to be contrary.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments below, please. And we'll catch y'all later. For now, however, if you enjoyed this episode, please let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, share it, or you can click on the annotations for the videos we've done. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you all
next time.